Hi there guys, welcome back. It is France versus Ireland time.
Yeah.
Interesting game.
I think probably the most dull of games until the final 10 minutes.
And then it was fascinating.
Yeah,
Should we talk about the final 10 minutes first?
Go for it.
Well, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Just because that was the most interesting thing. We had this series of events, Al, that Ireland had got to a really good lead.
Yep.
Then they kick the ball away and don't kick chase very well. Teddy Thomas, fantastic run back. So France are winning.
Yeah, I think that it all stemmed from Sexton's missed penalty, I think, before that. And that kind of was the start of a little bit of indecision in the Irish side.
Possibly, but all they had to do was get a decent kick chase on, they'd been all right. But then we had the funny thing where with the HIA incident,
again.
Where France, just by chance, it was France again, Al. I'm not suggesting France like bending the rules. No, that wouldn't be me.
No,
But France say that the knee injury is also a HIA, or the independent doctor, who may well be French, I don't know, says it's an HIA, and they bring back on Machenaud.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. In a way, that doesn't bother me so much. What I have a problem with is France not saying, OK, we've got Machenaud back on, get him to kick the penalty.
Well, that's an issue, isn't it?
He's a 90+% kicker. He's the best kicker on the pitch.
Yeah.
And they let the other guy take the penalty, who already slightly hooked his first kick.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then they would have won.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, the HIA in itself is an absolute
Go on, tell me your thoughts on that then.
I mean, I can't... It's blatantly a knee injury. You watch the replays back. There is a zero contact with the head, both in the tackle and after the tackle. No contact with the head whatsoever.
Remember, Jalabert also was HIA after his injury.
Zero contact with the head, both in the tackle and post-tackle. There's an independent medical professional, and let's just repeat that.
Are they French?
They are a medical professional that is supposed to be independent. The match doctor, irrelevant of whether they're French or not, they are supposed to be independent. Nigel Owens, 100%, back his decision. He's asked the fourth official.
He couldn't have done anything else.
He's spoken to the independent person, and they've said, HIA.
It was funny. That was funny. When Nigel Owens is going, you saying that's HIA? Are you sure it's HIA? He's basically saying, I know this is a fiddle, but what can I do?
I've got to back myself up.
I feel sorry for him.
It's a tough call for the referee. If the match referee, again, you wouldn't have a French person, a French individual refereeing France play. You wouldn't have French linesmen lining the French play. Again, like Wales, like England, like Scotland, like
touch judge, whatever.
Why would you have, and I'm not saying this was the case on Saturday, but why would you have a a doctor that's calling the HIAs, that's calling the injuries, that's French?
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Comment below if it was a Frenchman, because we don't quite know. We're assuming it is. I think it's the practicality of it and the cost of flying over doctors and who pays for it.
Over.
I know, and it probably will change.
And they're probably contracted by the Six Nations, aren't they?
I don't know.
As a corporation.
Probably. Or the French Rugby Federation, because they were hosting the game. But anyway, it's a loophole that's probably going to be changed. Not only did it happen twice in this game, but again an independent medical official said the same with the Slimani incident last year. And then Wales played some funny games as well against Georgia. So it's a loophole that needs to be shut.
And for me, I think listening to some of the pundits on Saturday at the end of the game saying, well, it didn't really benefit France in the final 10 minutes.
Because they should have
had a scrum half being replaced with a scrum half.
Yeah, your best scrum half.
How does that not affect your game? And if you were bringing a winger on to replace your scrum half for an injury,
of course it does.
Of course it benefits.
Of course it does. And if they were actually really clever, they'd have got him to take the goal kick and they'd have won the game.
Exactly.
Anyway. France also made the most tackles ever.
I mean, that's a lot, isn't it?
Anyway. Oh, so we'll come back to that. So, right at the end of the game, we're on the end of the game, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Yes.
And then Ireland did their best bit of play in the whole game. Regather the 22, crossfield kick, work their way up. Sexton calls the drop goal a lot further out than most people would and nails it. Yeah,
and I think France can kick themselves because I think defensively in that last couple of minutes, there were two occasions where they'd let where they let kind of a guy make 5 metres to get him over that halfway line.
They had him held on halfway, didn't they? They had him held on halfway.
And I think just keep him behind halfway. Keep him here, keep him here, keep him here.
Well, they were petrified of not giving away a penalty, of course.
Which would be interesting. Have they conceded the most penalties ever as well? Because there were a lot.
I don't know. All I know is that tackle one. I'll let Steve off the 10-14 do all the stats. There's no point competing with him.
No.
Anyway, let's go back to the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Overall, the thing is with Ireland is they've got a fantastic game plan that works. They've got a game plan that works and they're great at doing it. France were a bit unknown and winning in France for Ireland is rare.
Yeah.
So I can see why in some ways they went for their really simplified, low-risk game plan.
Well, they were playing for the conditions partly as well, weren't they? Which were difficult. I think that's why the game was as scrappy as it was partly, where the conditions were pretty poor.
This is true, yeah, absolutely.
I thought their backline looked quite sharp, Ireland. I thought Robbie Henshaw was superb.
Very strong, yeah, absolutely.
I quite like the look of Stockdale on the wing.
Okay, yeah. I thought Keith Earls just looks in great shape, the best shape of his life, absolutely. It's interesting, last week when I said Keith Earls was a safe choice, I didn't mean he was a boring player, I think he's safe as in you always get a good performance.
Yeah,
I want to put that one in there.
It's similar to what we say about Mike Brown, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not that they're boring players, they just do a job and they do it incredibly well.
He was class, Keith Earls.
Yeah.
But the style of play, I want to call the green machine. I've called it a few times. Yeah. We had Warren Ball. I want this one to catch on.
Yeah.
It probably won't, but the green machine is the way Ireland play. It's a little dull, essentially. Great kicking game, great defence, big carries with support.
Yeah.
Not giving the opportunity a sniff. They're not giving the opponents a sniff to turn over the ball.
Yeah.
But no real offloads, no real risk,
no.
Very little creativity. That's essentially the green machine for me.
Yeah.
And it worked. They were at 12-6, looking very comfortable until that last 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a tricky one because I think they need a little bit more creativity going forwards.
Right.
I think it is a bit same old, same old, same old. And when they come up against a very, very well organised defence, if they came up against Wales that weekend playing like that, they'd have struggled.
Maybe.
They just haven't got that spark.
The green machine way of playing is probably good enough to win the Six Nations.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see, but I think it probably is. However, my question is, this is Ireland in a golden age, I think. Okay, in a golden age of coaching, of setup, of players available. Are they limiting themselves to being a top Six Nations team and maybe 2 or 3 in the world? They should be going for #1 in the world in the World Cup.
Yeah,
I think this is their chance.
Yeah, definitely.
And is Schmidt creating a ceiling for them where they can't get through?
Yeah, maybe.
And could they experiment with maybe a Carberry at 12? Could they try with a Lama in at 15 to give them that little bit extra that gives them the chance of potentially winning a World Cup?
But is that all coming back to so much pressure being put on Johnny Sexton and Conor Murray because there's not necessarily that spark in creativity from 10 out? He is doing everything, Johnny Sexton, isn't he?
I'm saying
he's kicking, he's running, he's passing, he's tackling. He needs like George Ford's got Owen Farrell. I think in that way.
I don't know. I think it's coached. I think this is how they're told to play, and they're very comfortable playing in this way. Yeah. And Sexton plays in the way that Joe Schmidt wants him to play perfectly. I don't think it is that particularly. I just think it's coaching essentially, and also selection. But that's not to say this isn't a great way of playing that could win them the game. The tournament. Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying it's a bit boring. It's a little limited. But if you want to win, maybe if this might be the best way.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose.
Anyway, James Ryan, I thought looked really good second row.
Yeah, I've got him down as a positive for me.
He's got all the tools there. He looks like he has it all. Yeah. Size, pace, dog, a bit of handling, a bit of athleticism.
And Cian Healy showed why he's keeping Jack McGrath on the substitutes bench as well. I thought he was superb. And I've got Dan Levy when he came on for Josh van der Fleer. I thought he was immense coming off the bench.
It's a bit unfair. They've got O'Brien to come back. Van der Fleer looked quality when he was playing. Levy looks quality as well. He'll be starting next week, no doubt. Like I said, they've got the squad, they've got the players, they've got the coaching. Could they get a bit more out of them?
I think they've got the ability to chuck a ball around and
absolutely
kind of play that bit fast and loose like England are doing. I think they've got the players to do it.
Yeah.
It's trying to change, like we were saying about Wales last year, it's trying to change that mentality of we do this, that's the game plan. We do this, that's the game plan. We're here, we do this.
I think the measure is when they play Italy next week, if they keep it the same green machine, nice and safe, nice and tidy, we know that's how they were going to play.
Yeah.
If they experiment a little bit and move the ball a little bit more, maybe Joe Schmidt does want to expand the game plan. I don't think he does. I think he's stuck in his ways a little bit with this.
Yeah. I'd like to see Italy really come at them next week and really chuck a ball around and take it to that Irish side and just see how they get on. I think it'd be interesting.
Nothing to lose for them, really.
No, exactly.
Anyway, interesting game, guys. Comment below. Comment on what we've said there, if Ireland are limiting themselves or if it's the perfect way for them to play.
Yeah.
And we will see what happens next week. Until then, we'll catch you later.